Hi folks, welcome back to Roadstoke. Today I'm going to walk through the steps of winterizing the Solis, and these steps will be similar for many models. Most people will probably want to winterize their rig because just one night below freezing can cause frozen pipe damage. Ours froze one night after the propane ran out, but we got lucky with no damage. However, a family member of ours was not so lucky and had some pricey repairs. You might not need to winterize your Solis if you live in it full time. You'll need to be sure your heating system is always set to well above freezing, maybe 40 to 50 degrees. In ending cold weather, using the heat, our propane has run out in about 5 days. A propane refill is about 25 bucks. You'll also need to run the gray tank heater whenever you know it's going to be below freezing. In fact, we're going to do a test. Tonight, I'm going to leave this running. As you can see, it says battery is full. I'm going to leave this on now. It's about 4 o'clock, and I'm going to let this run through into the morning. So it'll be about 15 hours. The only thing that will be on is this. I'm not going to have the heater on or lights or anything else. And let's see. We'll see where the battery is tomorrow morning. All right, so it's the next morning. It is sunny, but I'm not getting any solar because the roof is covered in snow. It's actually after 10 a.m. So that's what, 4 p.m. to 10 a.m. is it's a little over 18 hours now. And the battery says, all right, so maybe we use the third of the battery. So you can run this maybe for 2 or 3 nights if you have to, if you're in some freezing temperatures. So we winterize every winter, but we do use the fan in the winter. We have a portable folding toilet, and we use a 7-gallon water jug, and we use the heat to stay warm. Okay, let's get to winterizing. All you're going to need is 1 gallon of non-toxic RV antifreeze. I picked this up at a big box store, and it worked just fine last season. I'm sure any brand works. You may also need a small bucket because your RV hose may not fit to get the antifreeze out of the jug. So before we get to putting the antifreeze in, we need to empty all of the water out of the system. First, we just need to empty the fresh water tank. So we're going to start with the sink and basically run the water tank until it is as empty as possible. And we're going to run both the cold water and the hot water to make sure as much of the sink water is gone. Next, we're going to run the shower and make sure that the shower lines are empty. And you want to do both hot and cold here as well. Next, we're going to flush out any of the remaining water in the toilet. With the toilet cassette, you want to make sure that that's cleaned, drained. We have had ice chunks form in there before, so it does freeze. So I think it's worth protecting and making sure that's clean. I have heard about some people using antifreeze in the toilet. I'd love to hear if any of you have tried that. Maybe you can use it during the winter. Okay, next we're going to dump all the water out of the gray tank. So I've already emptied this, but you want to take this to a dump station. And what you'll do is take the cap off, and then you're going to pull out on the valve, and the water is going to dump. Before you actually put the antifreeze into the system, there are some low-line drains. To get into those, they're under this seat, so we're going to pull this yellow latch, lift that seat up, pull out this storage bin so you get access to the pipes. Well, let's have a closer look and see what that looks like. So with a good look in here, you can see a number of hoses that are red and blue. See 3 valves on the hoses, and then we've got 1 pressure valve, I believe, for the Truma. So let's open these 3 valves. So that lets the water flow through the valve. We'll do that on the other 2. Let's see if I can get there. All right. So those are all open. And then finally we'll open the valve for the Truma. Now you should immediately start to see water coming out of the bottom of the van through the lower drains. It's surprising, even after I emptied the water from the sink in the shower and the outdoor shower hoses, a lot of water was still coming out of the bottom. So these hoses do hold quite a bit of water, so you do need to take this step. I also drove around the block a couple times to kind of move the water around. All right, with all that drained, I'm going to go ahead and close these valves. 1, 2, 3, and close. All right, with those closed, I think we're ready to start putting in the antifreeze into the system. All right, the last step, we need to put some of this non-toxic antifreeze into the system. What we'll need, I bought 2 of these just to make sure I had enough. You can use the hose that came with the Solis. Finally, when you're hooking this up to the system here, right, one side will go into your water system, and this side needs to go into your source, basically into your antifreeze. Well, that doesn't fit, so I just have an extra container to put this into, and then we can make this work. All right, we're going to start there. Next step is we need to change this little puzzle here to go on Winterize, and that will keep the antifreeze from going into the Truma system, bypasses the Truma, and it may bypass other sensitive parts of the plumbing. All right, currently we are in dry camping. So what we want to do is switch to Winterize. So we're going to match all these pieces. Next, we're going to hook up the hose. You do want to have some rags handy to clean up leaks. You probably don't want this pink stuff to stain anything. And then up top, we can turn on the water pump. You can turn it on from here up front above the passenger bench seat. This button is for your driver's side exterior lights. I didn't know that for a little while, but that's what that is. You can hear the pump starting to suck up some of the liquid here. We're going to go up to the front and start to move some of this pink goodness through the system. All right, let's move some of this through. All right, there's the pink on the hot side. Here's the pink on the cool side. All right, let's go to the bathroom. Okay. Again, you want to have some stuff handy. I've already got a little leakage there. We'll turn on the hot. Okay, let's turn on the cold. There's the pink. That's all we need to do. Let's get the toilet also. There we go. Empty that. Great. So I've got some here on the floor. We'll drain that out and clean that up. Now let's go outside and do the exterior shower hoses. All right, I'm gonna put the last of this pink stuff in here from this jug. You know, I think I've got enough just with one jug, so I think you can get away with this. I guess it depends on how much water you've already moved out of your system. So let's do the shower hoses. All right, let's get this hose out here. It's just kind of a gas valve fitting, so you pull that back, put it in, and I'm going to spray. I'm going to see if I can spray into this, just to not make a mess. So let's go cold. I hear it coming. You can see there was a little liquid in there, a little water. So it is good to push this pink stuff through there. I'm gonna open it a little more for fun. Okay, let's go over to the hot side. That looks good. Great. All right, I'm gonna take it to the front, do the same thing. Before I do that though, I wanna empty this or else it's gonna spray pink stuff everywhere. I'm just putting that jug low to empty out that blue hose as much as possible. Okay, comes that. Let's go to the front. Get the other outdoor shower. It's in. I'm gonna put this into this bucket. There was a little water in there, so this is good. All right, there's the pink. Let's go to the hot side. All right, we got pink. Great. Again, I'm going to drain this down gravity just to empty this hose so I don't spray everything everywhere any worse than I have. Great. All right. Next, I'm going to go ahead and empty this into the jug. Okay. Great. I'm going to get a rag, clean this up, and we should be ready to go. Oh, this looks good. I'm going to go ahead and empty this down gravity. Great. And from a jug, that's what I've got left. So that was pretty much spot on for a Solis. Let's go and take this off. Finally, I'm going to turn off the pump for the winter. And I'm just going to do a little cleanup. And I think that's all we got to do. Right, so I've cleaned up my mess with my spare rags. There's word that this could stain, so I guess you want to make sure you clean everything up. Another recommendation I've seen out there is to use some compressed air to blow out all the liquid out of the system. I don't have those kind of tools, but pushing this through did seem to work well. Basically, it just pushes the clear liquids out of the system, and you'll see that happen as you use this. Overall, it's not a difficult process. So I think that wraps it up. Thanks for watching. I'm hoping to come up with some hopefully interesting content about the Winnebago Solis, about van rentals as an owner, and other adventures and fixes that we end up needing to do along the way.